Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Boost Your Brilliance session titled Stay Strong Until the Finish Line. We know the end of the year can be just a mix of excitement, exhaustion, and just everything in between. So, today we're going to reflect on what's gone well, but also explore practical strategies to keep our momentum and support each other in just finishing strong, not just for ourselves, but our students too. To get us started, we wanted to do something fun and lighthearted. So we wanted to build our end of the year survival kits. So think about what helped you get through this busy time. For me personally, it's trying to pamper myself in some way. So having a sheet mask or finding some quiet time. For me, a mini journal is a must have for my survival kit, but maybe for you, it's a stress ball, enjoying your favorite coffee, just even having a walk outside, blasting music on the drive home. But just taking some time to think about that question: what's an item in your survival kit? And always just pausing and reflecting, our glows and our grows, and thinking about these 6 questions. You can answer all of them, you can answer some of them, but what's something that went well this year? Can you think of a moment where your students truly showed growth? What's an idea or strategy that you just didn't get to this year that you still want to try before, that last day of school? Is there something you already know that you want to refine for next year? Is there a colleague who's really made an impact on your teaching this year and just giving them a shout out? But, think about this in your heads, or you can even take a minute to jot down your thoughts on a piece of paper, or maybe share with someone who may be watching this with you. But our first strategy for finishing strong will center on SEL. Our students are feeling a lot right now: excitement, anxiety, but maybe even sadness, because sometimes for a lot of our students, coming to school is a highlight of their day. So there definitely might be some sadness about leaving that classroom community that you've created for them. So that one simple but really powerful practice is holding those SEL check-ins. Let them share their worries, give them that space to talk, to reflect, to write, or even draw about how they're feeling. It could be a small moment of connection for your class, but it can make a really big difference. But bringing some fun and engagement back into our classrooms with, a strategy that students really love. And it's these comic strips. A lot of our students are really drawn to those graphic novels and comics. So giving them a template like this, having them fill in speech bubbles, really draws their understanding of a specific concept that you might be teaching in class. It could be a really great way for them to retell a lesson that you've taught visually. So again, this simple strategy is really creative, but it's super accessible, and it really works across all subject areas. So there's one example here, another one, and another one. And again, us coaches are here to help you create anything if you're interested in any of these strategies that we go over today. And then we have an application strategy. So this one is titled Alter Egos. So if you click on this link, it'll show you some examples where, if you're teaching something that's just not naturally really, screaming fun, it could be a little bit dry. It's, really nice for us to just imagine it, reimagine it. So adding some pop culture. So for example, this social studies example, if you're teaching American Revolution and you have, again, this content that you're teaching them, you can kind of rephrase how they are reflecting on this by asking, how would Chaperone have alerted Lexington that the British were coming? So it's a quick way to really hook our students and make that dry content feel a little bit fresh and relevant to them. So again, whether it's science, math, language arts, encore, you're really easily able to adapt this strategy for your content. So here's a science example, a math example. And again, we're here to help you create anything that would work best in your class. And then lastly, we have our kick-in strategies. We can't forget the classics. And these are low prep, high engagement ways to keep our students thinking, talking, collaborating, even in those final days of school. So if you click on this link, you will be directed to this presentation. And, again, just goes down just a list of these Kagan strategies from like the rally robin, the quiz trade, time pair share, placemat, consensus. You know them. You probably already use them, but just a friendly reminder to keep leaning on what works. But, again, super short presentation today, but we just hope that today just gave you just a chance to pause, reflect, recharge, remembering that those simple but thoughtful strategies can really carry us and our students to that finish line with energy and intention. And, most importantly, not forgetting to also take care of ourselves. So again, take that walk, treat yourself, talk to a colleague, take a deep breath, and let's finish this year with a sparkle. Thank you so much for listening.